evening and welcome to the McMuscles Midnight Massacre Chapter 2. Today we have an Asian... God, it's hard to describe. Korean. It's a Korean movie that we had never heard of before. It's a remake of... What year is it from?
86.
The original one?
1986.
86. Good year.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as 87, but what can be. And it's called The Wrath.
Yeah, I keep calling it the Wraith by accident.
No, we call it the Wailing.
Yeah,
because I think there was
Wailing.
another. Yeah, exactly. So, we never heard of this. It is a Shudder, I believe, exclusive.
I'm not sure. We got that Shudder warning, and every time something new's there, we're like, okay, let's check it out. Like,
I get a Shudder email, and they're like, "Hey, Matt, and I'm like,
about
okay.
The Wrath." I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, The Wrath. I'll watch something called The Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
But what this is basically like,
it's a time
old
piece.
old
timey.
time period.
The period is actually called the Jeong. I don't know how to say it. It's called Joseon. I'm probably saying that wrong. Era.
Yeah. So it takes place in Korea, and it's basically like an old school, like ghost tale. I'd say, like kind of classic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like curses and hauntings and ghosts.
And more curses.
Revenge.
And firstborn sons dying.
Yeah.
But basically, like the firstborn son of this affluent family, or all the sons of this affluent family, are quickly dying off.
They die on their wedding night, or they die when they
try
to
do
the nasty.
They die just as they're like got their O face on.
Do the sex, yeah, or something like that.
And a like peasant girl is brought in to marry like the remaining son.
Yeah.
And then the curse keeps continuing, and you try to find out like why is this happening? And the peasant girl is brought in, and she's very like demure, very like soft-spoken, quiet. And I was kind of like, yeah, I've seen this type of thing before, where like the outsiders brought into the big family, and they have to kind of navigate the politics and stuff. And I was kind of like, okay, but we'll go into our likes and dislikes.
There's also Trace Cinderella, because
a little bit, yeah.
There's like evil stepsisters, because there's the stepmom. So how the family dynamic goes is the dad, the stepmom, because the original mom was dead. I don't know what. And then there's all the sons that weren't her sons though. She was a stepmom
from the previous marriage.
Yeah. And then all the sons that died had married these women, like, and they become like the stepdaughters. They're still around this house.
These Kardashians.
Yeah, basically, they're still just living in this house. So that's what it is. And the peasant girl comes in.
And she steps into this volatile ecosystem.
Marry this guy. He's probably gonna die. That's fine. You know.
Well, there's a scene very early on, just a bit into the story, where he's just like, I'll get this ghost-killing, ghost-busting, proton-pack sword.
Yeah, that he like steals from someone. They're like,
from some
that's
monks.
not yours. And
these monks are like, can you not though?
You don't know who my dad is, so like I'm kind of rich and a big deal, so it's fine.
And the monks are like,
and they're like, all right, fine, we'll just take it, but we'll just take it back after you die. Because spoiler, he dies. Like.
Yeah, that happens very early on.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie is basically this peasant girl trying to navigate through all the twisty snakes and thorns of this family.
Plus the curse.
Plus a bunch of other things that happen. And it's a really kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say formulaic, but because it had some twists and deviations between the standard K-horror we've seen before.
But to us, though, again, it's like a remake, so people are expecting these things, but we didn't know anything, so we're just like, okay, that's interesting.
I never heard of the original before, so. What did you then like from it, from what you remember?
The Madame, the bitchy stepmom, she was good. Yeah. Like, she did some good acting. I liked the young girl, too. Like, I liked her face, and I liked that towards the end she started,
her face.
I say this a lot. Like, when I like someone's face, like, I like your face.
No. When it's a bad face, even if it's the hero, you're like, no.
No, this face. But she starts off very meek and timid, and there's obviously something about her that makes her special. You know, she has this mark on her, and maybe she sees stuff. That happens early on too. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like on the back of her shoulder.
Yeah, it's like on her shoulder, whatever. And she ends up toughening up and standing up and being like, oh shit, bitch. Like, she ain't taking no shit.
Which I didn't expect.
At all. Like, in the beginning, she kind of does. She doesn't say anything. But then she's like, don't you fucking mess with me. And I always appreciate a good stand-up. Yeah. Stand up to bullies.
Because she gets pregnant, which is basically like
she gets pregnant on that,
armor.
Yeah, that fateful night. So they're just like, oh, okay, I guess we're not just going to throw you out in the garbage because you're a peasant and you're besmirching our name with your peasantness. You're
like continuing the bloodline. And the other women that married these other sons couldn't bear children. Get pregnant. They just wouldn't.
So yeah, and now they can't. Like, who else are they going to marry to be part of like
this awful family?
This bloodline, right? You know, they want to keep the bloodline going. So
yeah,
what did you like though?
That was actually one of the main things, was just that this girl is like, kind of starts off as very demure and like not even like, doesn't even take a long time. She just really quickly is like, no, I'm the fucking queen bitch now.
Yeah, she goes into mama mode. That's what it was though. Once she realized she was pregnant, she's like, I ain't fucking taking no shit. Yeah. You know, so.
So there's that. You know, they have some ghostly scare effects because there's like this curse that's affecting this family, and the whole plot is like finding out why this curse is so. Mm-hmm. And when they have this like this cursed woman ghost appear, I thought the effects were generally pretty good. It was weird. It was kind of like a mix of a little bit of CGI, but mostly I think it was like a woman in makeup. I couldn't really tell.
I mean,
it was good though.
I'm trying to remember, they had sporadic scares and stuff, and they did some stuff that, I mean, we've seen the mistake of bad pacing in these things in a lot of movies, like too many, too hard, the volume, like just trying too hard.
Or not enough where there's like
spaced out. So I thought it was a good dynamic of how they spaced it out and how they did it. There's this one scene, we don't know if we like or dislike it, but it was very like, so you're doing this.
Yeah.
So you're doing this.
And it's a night vision camera is used in the scene where the main girl is like trying to avoid detection of the ghost.
Yeah.
That's cool for a game and other stuff, but in the world of the movie, who was holding this night vision camera?
Why are we having a Silence of the Lambs type thing? It's not a found footage. Like, what are you?
So it looks like a third person is holding it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it was cool to see. Because you don't expect that in a movie like this.
People did not like that. So
yeah, so you want to talk about that?
So because the final shot of this, and we won't give it away, there's a vision shown briefly for a second, and everyone kind of goes like, oh mon dieu, like c'est quoi ça? And we're just like, what does that mean? Like, they're showing something, we don't get it. So I went to read like reviews, and sometimes you'll find a video saying like, the ending of this movie explained.
Explained
for dummies like me. And I couldn't actually find anything, but what I did find was all the scathing reviews of this movie. And again, people might have been really like enamored with the original and excited for the remake, but they went something like this. They're like, every accent was shit, K-pop star was disgusting, sets were cheap and gross, laughable, horrible, ruined everything. And I was like, girl, calm down. I was like, it wasn't that bad.
So like, I'll say though that next to other period pieces I've seen, like ones from China, ones from Japan, and also Korean ones. Like there's, God, what was the Netflix one? The
Netflix movie was so good. It was of the same era.
Kingdom.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That had so much production.
Shot so well. Yeah, the quality was there.
It was fantastic. And this, it does feel a little cheap, but then again, it's a horror movie remake. Like they all look cheap, no matter what country they're in. But I did kind of feel like, things look a little shabby. It's the same sets over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's like two sets.
So it was a negative.
I mean, people were really going in on that. Like, oh my god, so cheap. The sets, oh my god, their dialects so bad. Their accents are horrible. And I'm like, okay, well, we don't know. Obviously, we can't tell.
To be fair, there's remakes where you'll watch and you haven't seen the original, and their remakes are okay. Yeah. And then there's ones that, even if you haven't seen the original, this is bad.
Yeah, a bad movie's a bad movie.
Like, I've never seen the original House of Wax from the 1950s, but I've seen the Paris Hilton House of Wax. Not a good time. So I get that from people that might have seen the original, but like aside from that, I think there was the Exorcist character that kind of like flirts in and out of the story.
We don't know what his deal was. Does he live nearby? Why was he always showing up? He kept trying to tell you to leave. You didn't want to leave. But like, how many times are you gonna come back and be like, it's time to go?
Usually, an exorcist character is very important to the film.
Yeah.
And comes in and does a big finale thing. And this guy, I mean, it's not really. He doesn't really do much, and he's just kind of there. Keeps coming back in and back out, like you said. You just kept
like
saying,
every day. I'm like, are you
get out?
Are you at an Airbnb nearby? Like, how are you doing this voyage so quickly every other day?
Yeah, he's not using a horse.
Where is he?
He just pops up.
I don't know.
And that felt
it's a stupid logistic question, but like whatever.
It's one thing if the character showed up once and we go, okay, that was weird. But he shows up multiple times, so we're just like, that's kind of weird. But I mean, other than that, I enjoyed it.
It was good. It was fine.
I mean, I've seen way worse, even like other films from Asia where I'm just like, oh, what the hell? I don't understand what's going on or whatever. A cat is busting into the house.
God damn it! The curse of the cat.
We'll leave her. So anyway, The Kingdom. Would you recommend it?
The Wrath? I would recommend The Kingdom.
I would also recommend The Kingdom.
Honestly, guys, if it's still on Netflix, watch that before you watch this. If you can find time for a series, that's
about zombies. Very different.
Chef's Kiss. The actors too. Like everything was amazing.
But for The Wrath, how do you feel?
I'm gonna watch it. If you have got Shudder, why not?
Yeah, if you have Shudder, I think is a Shudder exclusive. Like it's not on any other VOD service. So if you are thinking of getting Shudder, or you do have it, I would recommend it. Is it worth getting Shudder for? Like just to see that? There's lots of other stuff to watch though. I think it was solid for the genre.
Yeah.
So there's that, but I was hoping for a little bit more. Like. It felt like it was missing something.
Well, we didn't go into because we didn't want to spoiler what the actual curse was because it is revealed.
Yeah,
I was interested.
Is interesting.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't
like, get it, girl.
It still wasn't like any big shocks or anything like I haven't seen before. Yeah. So
men are horrible. Shocking.
And curses are bad.
Yeah.
You know. But I guess that about sums up The Wrath. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. If you're especially a fan of Asian horror, it has a lot of the trappings and whatever, and it was above a certain quality. So check it out if you like. Shudder, we have a couple of Shudder movies we've seen for this Massacre. So overall, that service is definitely worth it.
Yeah, for us it is at least come October.
Yeah, but even in general, but
no, there's always some stuff there.
Yeah. So I guess that about does it for tonight on the McMuscles Midnight Massacre. We will see you tomorrow night with I don't know what.